I'm an old man now. I
Fair.
require
Are you a napper?
well, I never used to be.
Yeah.
Then I started working, and then now I'm a
Then you
working
turn
man.
into an old
So
man.
now I
You're a
come
working
home and
old man.
need to eat
Yeah.
dinner,
There you go.
take a nap, get
Yeah.
up and then not be able to fall asleep until 2 o'clock in the morning because I took a
Yeah.
nap after work.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
So the average struggles of the everyday working man here on the Basement Birds Show. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Basement Birds podcast. Logan and Reid.
Oh yeah.
Reid, you're awful bright today.
I
Looking
am. I'm not. I didn't wear orange or orange. Holy cow! I didn't
Orange?
wear green for St. Patrick's Day.
what world is this? Orange.
I kind of looked down at my shirt because it looks like it's kind of orangish, yellowish in real life. I don't know how well the camera picks it up.
It just looks straight up yellow for me.
Okay.
Good
yeah.
sir.
Well, I didn't wear green for St. Patrick's Day. So I decided to wear bright yellow, orange instead. No, I did I did have green on today, but I changed.
Do you own a green shirt? I don't own a green. That's not
I do.
true. I own a green T-shirt. I don't own a green work appropriate shirt.
I have a green polo,
Oh,
and then I have a green like quarter zip thingy.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, and
Green
a green
means
sweatshirt,
go.
I guess.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, I do have green, and I do quite enjoy wearing green as well. I think it's a good color. I like a darker green, not a bright green. We talked about this last night, I think. You're a big bright green guy. I'm a nice like deeper green. Like I don't know a good. I don't have anything.
Yeah, I need
near
like
me.
this is
Yeah, like something.
this
bright.
is a Logan
Yeah.
color,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
as you can tell by my chair too.
Oh yes,
Green.
the bright green chair. Yes, Logan just likes being a green screen.
Basically, I have a giant. Have you ever seen my big green screen that I used to hang up in my basement?
I'm not sure.
When I would stream, I had one of those drop ceilings with the
Oh.
ceiling tiles, and I could hang up it's like a 20 by 10. The thing is ginormous. It's a humongous green screen.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I did not wear green. As you can probably tell, we're recording this episode on St. Patrick's Day. Today is
Yes.
Monday,
Yep.
March 17th. Good day, laddie. Happy St. Patrick's Day to
Okay.
you. That's more
Jeez.
of a Scottish accent.
Oh gosh.
I'm really
let's-
bad at doing accents, but
Yeah, let's
Happy St.
let's
Patrick's
not.
Day.
Oh, good lord, what's happening?
Ah, yes. That was not really Irish at all. But
Ooh,
you know what?
Boy, that
Appreciate that. Go drink your Shamrock Shake there, laddie. Arr! No, that's more of a pirate.
that's
but,
that's not. We're straying further from where we need to be.
well,
we're just not close.
happy St. Patrick's Day. You know, when I was on the morning show at our school, I learned the Irish dance. Did we ever talk? Did we talk about this last week? We might have.
No, I don't think so. That's fun though.
Yeah, we yeah. So they there's a few well-known youth Irish dance groups in the Chicagoland area, and we had one of them come on the show, and the idea was
I think
we
I've
used,
seen this video.
I used to have I created a series called Learning with Logan, where Logan learns to do things. I learned a fingerprint from I know it's very
with Logan,
very
where Logan
complicated,
learns to do things? Yeah.
very complicated series. We should bring that back. I really liked Learning with Logan actually,
Learning with
because I got
Logan?
to learn all sorts of fun stuff.
There you go.
But I learned how to fingerprint from a crime scene investigator. That was really cool.
Oh, that's neat.
I learned about the police body cameras. That was the second episode I think we did of Learning with Logan.
Okay.
So that the police department had some newly installed body cameras that they got, and I got to learn all about them, which was pretty fun.
Okay.
Because they were trying to get the word out, so we were trying to figure out how we were gonna promote, get the word out about these body cameras, and so
Sure, yeah.
shoot with the chief of police and ask silly questions, and then we went on
There you
a mock pullover. I did a mock ride along. That was really cool, actually. We got
Oh,
to
that is neat.
pull someone over, and we got the body camera footage, and we got the footage from inside the car too. That was really cool.
Did they arrest you?
No, they arrested Tony. Remember Tony from a previous host?
Yes, they arrested Tony. What did he do?
They pulled him over. They didn't arrest him. They did a mock
They pulled him over. Gotcha.
pull over. They lit him up. Woo 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 woo. And then we got to get some shots of
Sure.
what it looks like when someone gets pulled over with the body camera, so people could see what happens, what the procedure is.
There you go.
With the new body cameras. That was cool. And then then anyway, this is a very long-winded explanation of
where was this going?
Irish dancing. So then there
yes.
was when they had the Irish dancers on, they performed. They were very talented young ladies, and then they sent me out there in I was wearing a green Blackhawks jersey with a blazer over top of the jersey for some reason.
And you were not a very talented Irish lady?
And I am not a very talented Irish lady. You are correct. And so they tried to teach me the steps. And I think the hardest part was I had to hold a microphone because I was wearing
fair.
a microphone, but I had to hold it so they could hear what the Irish dancers were saying. And so then I had to try and dance and hold a microphone at full extension.
That's not ideal.
Over in front of someone's face.
Yeah.
So that was an experience for sure. Different experience.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that. I've seen some of the videos of it, and it's a lot going on, and I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do that.
They take it very seriously, and it's funny because we were on the morning show, so it was obviously in the morning. It was done live, and then that night they were going to the United Center to dance at the Blackhawks game. So,
that's cool.
That was pretty cool to get them on.
That is neat, yeah.
And get to dance, but that was kind of that was back in the morning show hosting days. And thinking about that today, I was reminiscing is the word I'm looking for.
There you go.
Reminiscing about various times where I had been on the news, and obviously you and I were both on the news in college. We did the local campus news.
Yep.
And I was part of the crew that kind of started the morning show, which was cool. But way before that, we take a trip in the Wayback Machine to when I was a young laddie, and some of my first experiences on the television, and that prompted me to ask you if you had ever been on the real news. And your response to that was,
I have not been on the real news, if we want to call it that. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, just the fake one.
Just the fake news.
Yeah, the phony news.
The phony news.
Phony news.
I have been on the news. I was fortunate enough to be on a couple times. First time I was ever on the news, Chicago. Living in Chicago, Chicago's the third largest market in the country.
Good job.
Behind New York and L.A. And so, some pretty talented news folks in Chicago. And I was second, third grade maybe.
Okay.
And we
wait,
were
I kind of heard
downtown.
that as 2 or 3, not second or third grade, but continue anyway.
Second or third grade. Yeah.
I gotcha.
So
Yep.
we were
My
downtown on Michigan Avenue, right outside of the NBC studios. NBC Chicago, and the very famous Brant Miller was out on the street doing a piece to camera, and he was getting ready to do a live shot. Brant Miller's a very famous weatherman for NBC in Chicago. For those of you that don't know,
Wouldn't you want to know, Weather Boy?
We saw Brant Miller, and we saw him with the camera, and my dad, being my dad, went up and asked him if he was going to be on, if he was going to be on, and He
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, why don't you guys sit right here?" And so we
Oh.
sat behind him in the live shot, and then he did whatever he needed to do, and then he turned around and said, "Take a look at this wonderful family from Lockport," and then the camera panned over to us, and there we were sitting and waving, and
He goes, "This dad just fought someone in the parking lot down the road, and I can't believe it."
I just saw him punch someone in the face, and now they're on the news because I feared for my life.
Oh my word!
No,
That would have been
he was a very nice
hilarious, though.
guy. Brant Miller
That's
was a great guy. And then that was kind of my first experience like on camera.
Okay.
And then
Okay, is that
later,
experience being on camera though? You just sat there.
calm down,
That's
calm
like a
down.
smile and a wave.
That was the first news experience where in front of the camera,
Okay,
smile
got
and wave,
it.
boys.
I feel
Smile
like
and wave, boys.
That's a little bit of a stretch, but okay.
Okay, relax. We're getting there. We're building up to getting interviewed
Okay.
on camera for the first time.
Okay.
So that was my first
I'll trust the process.
TV news experience. And then there was a point where I was in the hospital a lot. That was part of pretty much my high school life, and so I spent a lot of time in there. And the radio station that I used to work for used to do a telethon at the hospital, and the radio producers came, and they were going around interviewing people, and they came in and got my story. So that was my first kind of audio interview. That was my first real interview. I was probably 13, 14 at the time, and so they came and they just kind of asked your story. They asked you to say a couple liners, and so then. As far as I know, they never played the actual story, but they played a couple of the liners that I gave.
Okay.
Apparently, my story wasn't good enough for them, but that's all right.
What did they go to the next room and they're like, this kid's good. He's Logan just doesn't hold a candle to him.
He just
what?
does not.
What's the thought process there?
I guess I don't know. I was kind of bummed out, but I did hear the liner a couple times, which was kind of cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
And then so that was that. And while I was in the hospital for all those times, they had a service there for school because obviously I'm missing a lot of school. So they had some Chicago public school teachers on staff there to help teach and coordinate school volunteers and all this stuff. Yada yada yada. Anyway, the person who was in charge of that, her name was Pat. Pat did a lot to help me get through high school and kind of be successful in school. And when she retired, they wanted to do, I believe it was ABC wanted to do a piece on her retiring. And so they called me and asked me to come down. And so I had to go down there, and this was just to get interviewed at the hospital. And that was really cool. And I was really honored that they chose me to get interviewed and to talk about my experience with Pat.
Yeah.
Still in contact with Pat. Pat's a great lady. Like Pat a lot.
That's
Love
cool.
Pat. Now she's retired, and so that was kind of my first time of like, here's what a real interview looks like, right? Because obviously we've done I've done many video interviews since then, but that was kind of like my first experience with any sort of video interview, right?
Sure.
And so that kind of sparked a little something, little something.
There you go. Yeah.
With the camera, and it kind of just blossomed from there. My mom was on the morning news one time. That's a whole separate story.
Oh,
Maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Because her husband fought someone in the parking lot?
No, she got like hair extent. Yeah, she got hair extensions. I feel that's a whole story in itself.
Where is this going?
Yeah, so maybe okay. I guess maybe I'll just tell it now, and then we'll push Logan's loot box to next week because I feel like this is.
Don't spoil the plot there.
I know. Well, I'm not spoiling what the item is.
Good call. Continue.
Okay, so being in the hospital a lot, my mom got to know a lot of the volunteers who would come to the hospital and do things, and they had all sorts of volunteers that would come. They had teachers and some really smart medical students that would help kids with schoolwork. They had artists that would come and help kids with art. And then they had like massage therapists that would come for parents too. I mean, because there's, obviously the child being in the hospital weighs on the parents. So
Yeah, I would
they
say
would
they're
have people
stressed
who
out
would,
too.
exactly. And so they would have people come and do massages. They would have people periodically come in and cut hair at the hospital. So they would
That's something you
they
don't
would
even
give
think about.
haircuts. Exactly, right. And so somehow or another, this well-known hairstylist in Chicago, I don't remember who it is, got asked to do some sort of hair extensions, or was going to do some sort of hair something. Somehow or another, this guy was going to be on the morning news, WGN, Channel 9 News for Chicago.
Okay.
In the morning, and for whatever reason, they reached out to the hospital to find some people who might be willing to get hair extensions on TV.
And your mother said yes.
My mom, was at that point pretty familiar with the people downstairs, so they called my mom and asked, and of course she said yes. And this was probably about 10 years ago, because it was after Nicole and I started dating.
Okay.
We had to go down. We had to be down at WGN Studios really early in the morning again, because it was we had to probably get there at like 6 o'clock, and so they had to start. We had to go to the hair studio first so he could get started with the extensions, and then they finished them up at the studio, and so. We got to go there. We got to go to the studio. And there was a band there called Dirty Loops. They were performing in the morning. I don't know if you've ever heard of
Dirty Loops?
Yeah, Dirty Loops.
Okay.
It's like a British rock band or something. They were got to meet those guys. Those guys were all super cool.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
that was
Never
my
heard of
first
them, but-
time experiencing like a live studio news segment, because they were in with they were in the newsroom, where you're not the newsroom, but the news studio where they do the WGN morning news. And they were kind of on like a ancillary set, and so we got to go and sit where like Robin Baumgartner does the. Do you know her? No. This is Chicago people, but
Ancillary. That's a good word, though.
Right? That's a 5-star word of the day.
Yeah.
But that was really cool, because I got to kind of see how that whole process goes, and that was before I started anything TV, radio related at college.
I see.
And so that was kind of like, here's how TV works. Everything is really fast. It's everything. A lot of stuff going on at one time. We got to see where they do the weather with the green screen and stuff. But
that's
the coolest
cool.
part of that really whole kind of experience at WGN Studios was seeing where they do the lottery, because they do the Illinois lottery, like the Powerball, right?
Yep.
And they've got the thing with all the ping pong balls where they go boing 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 boing, and they're flying all over the place.
Yep.
They actually do that. This is a little lesser known factoid about the Illinois lottery, the Illinois Powerball. They do it in the same studio that they shot the Bozo the Clown show. Do you know who Bozo the Clown is?
I do, yes.
Yeah, so for those of you listening who don't know Bozo the Clown, it's a well-known kids' TV show that ran in the Chicagoland area. I
think it ran in more than the Chicagoland area.
It was filmed in Chicago, though, and it was
sure.
It was on WGN in the morning, and you could go. My mom actually went to go see the show. My grandma bought tickets to go see the Bozo the Clown show 13 years in advance. She bought the tickets before my mom was even born, and they didn't get to go until she was 12 years old. That's how popular the show was. I've never even heard of 13. What are you talking about? 13 years in advance you bought tickets. Can you imagine buying tickets 13 years in advance to anything?
That's crazy. Yeah, no, the most I've bought tickets in advance is like 6 months.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Exactly. So That kind of shows how popular the show was, and that's where they do the Illinois Powerball now is in that same studio. They've got like some walls set up in front. They still got the original murals painted on the wall. And we got to see the guys. There's literally guys with like white gloves and silver cases.
Oh, yeah.
Like that all the ping pong balls are in. Then they like test them and then they put them in and then they pull them out and they do all this stuff and then they turn them all about. Then they do the hokey pokey and they turn their stuff around. But it's
That's what it's
really
all about.
It's quite the process for the lottery. Is kind of what I learned that day. But again, that was my really first in studio experience with the news. I know since COVID, they've resumed at the college that we went to their field trips to the news station. I unfortunately did not get to go to there because of COVID when I was a student. But it was interesting. It again opened your eyes to kind of the behind the scenes of how TV news operates, how all that stuff works, and how cool it really is. I don't know.
Yeah,
Have you
that's
ever
very
been into
interesting.
like an in studio show before?
I have actually. Oh my, what was the show? It was something on, maybe it was WGN TV. What show was it? It was like some man on the street style show. I don't know if they do it anymore. But I went
Oh.
with a group of students from the school we went to freshman year. Oh my gosh, I can see the guy that hosted it. Oh my gosh.
This was in college. You went to this?
Yes.
Oh, this was pre-COVID then?
Yes, this was pre-COVID. I don't honestly think it's on air anymore. I don't think it lasted very long.
Oh. Well,
Oh, shoot. What was it? I'm going to find this, and we're going to figure this out. This guy's name, was his first name Pat? Is there a Pat? Pat Tomasulo?
oh yeah, Pat Tomasulo.
Yeah. What show did he host?
I thought Pat Tomasulo. That's a good question.
What was the name of this? I can't think of what this show was. Oh my gosh.
I couldn't tell
About. 1 second. We're going to find it.
you. He does stand-up comedy, apparently,
Yeah, I guess so.
according to his website.
There's nothing. This is definitely the guy. What was the show? I can't see anything about the show.
Videos? Did you look under videos? Man of the People.
Man of the People. Yes. That's it.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's we went to that. Yes. Yeah, we had yeah, it ran from 18 to 19. Yeah. Yes. That's exactly what this is. Yeah, it was okay. But
I
it
don't know.
obviously didn't last long.
Oh, Pat Tomasulo, huh?
Yeah.
I thought he was on. Is he on the radio too?
I have no idea what he's doing now.
I thought he. It looks
He's
like
probably-
he has a podcast.
He's probably posting
was-
a stand-up onto TikTok.
Probably.
That's where we went, though. Yes, I totally forgot about that until you brought that up. Holy cow! That was quite something, though. That was fun.
I think it'd be cool to host a show. Oh, he's on WGN TV. Morning news. He's on with Robin Baumgartner in the morning.
Oh, okay. So they canned the show and they put him on the morning news. I remember going there. It was very interesting when we got there because I remember the whole like inside of the studio, like the hallway you walked to get there looked very like old. It all felt very old.
Yeah, I bet that was at the same. That was at the WGN studio because
Yes.
that building was probably built in like the '60s when
Yeah,
you know
and they have not
TV
done
just
much
started.
to it in terms like outside of making like upgrading technology. I would assume, like
No.
they have done they have done as little upgrades as they have, needed to essentially.
You'd think they like paint the walls at least or something, make
Yeah,
it look a
no.
little bit more modern.
Didn't
Nope.
feel like that, Yeah. So then, yeah, it was interesting. Like I think like I don't know. You either like they either like I don't know if you could bring a phone into the recording room. So I feel like they had a place where you had to drop your phone off before you went into the studio or something like that.
That sounds about right. He's
Like
on
they
LinkedIn.
like
Should I
they didn't
connect with
allow
him
any
on
devices
LinkedIn?
in there. Which was interesting. It was fun. It was cool to see. Like, I mean, we were all broadcast students at the time, so we were, very nerding out about the cameras and stuff like that, and being like, oh man, look at that crane shot they have, that's pretty cool, and stuff like that. We weren't paying so much attention to the actual content of the show. There's nothing too memorable. I think he went to like a laundromat or a barber shop or something on it, but that's about all I remember.
Yeah. No, that
couldn't
sounds
even-
about right.
Couldn't even tell you anything further about it. So
Yeah, it didn't last very long. 2017 to 2019.
yeah, I would say it's a one-hit wonder, but I don't know if it was a wonder or if there was a
Yeah.
hit, for that matter. So
Well, you know what is a hit?
odd news.
Do, 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 do,
Bang.
do.
Good
Yeah.
transition.
Odd news, ladies and gentlemen. Would you like to go first? I feel like I've been doing a lot
Oh
of
gosh,
talking.
no, you go first. I have some options I still need to choose from. I chose 3.
Oh gosh. Well,
Yes.
This one takes us to the great, not the glove state, but the mitten state, Michigan.
Oh, good. This isn't any of mine. This makes my choice even more difficult.
Yeah. So police near the northern police. Yeah, I
Police?
kind of. Flub that word. Police near the northern tip of Michigan's Lower Peninsula were called to a motel.
Whoa. Pause. Wait, can you say that again? The northern tip
Michigan's police near the northern tip of Michigan's Lower Peninsula were called to a motel
Yeah, you seem to
to help
specify.
secure an unusual piece of left behind property. This would be, ladies and gentlemen, a live alligator. The Sheboygan Police Department said officers were called to a Pine Rivers motel room when housekeeping staff found a live alligator in a recently vacated room.
Oh gosh.
Have you ever seen the show Gator Boys? That was one of my favorite shows on Animal
No.
Planet. There was a couple alligator dudes.
I watched
and-
Crocodile Hunter.
Well, Crocodile Dundee. Now, this is a knife. My Australian accent is just as bad as my Irish accent, ladies and gentlemen. That's accurate as all get up. But apparently, we just went in there to clean the room, and when my nephew looked under the bed, Wally was there. The motel manager,
Whoa, hold up.
Gary,
This thing has a
said,
name?
apparently they just
What?
gave the alligator a name. He was a real friendly gator, so I didn't feel real scared. He let the police officers hold him and all that. I mean, it was really friendly alligator. I
This
don't know if that's
picture
the
is hilarious.
first thought. I mean, the gator's smiling in the picture. I swear he
He kind
is.
of is, yeah. He kind of
Um,
looks like the Florida logo.
He kind of does.
He's like, ah.
Police determined the 3-foot alligator named Wally belonged to a man who owned multiple exotic animals and takes them to elementary schools for various demonstrations. The owner was contacted and told police he knew Wally was missing, but didn't realize he had been left at a motel.
That
Where did he
alligator
go?
looks longer than 3 feet long.
The owner,
Do they not measure
He-
with the tail?
he thought it got out. He looked for him and couldn't find him. This is what Gary said, the hotel manager. Wally was reunited with his owner last Friday night. So, I don't know. But alligators are a dangerous breed, my
This
friend.
thing-
I mean,
are you
the-
watching the video?
no, the little baby gators, though, can take off a finger. So even though he's 3 feet long, I imagine he could at least take off a hand or something.
This thing like blends into the carpeting too.
Can we talk about how young that reporter is, too, in this video? How old is that guy? Like 12? God,
I did notice that too. Yeah.
he kind of does.
Oh my gosh,
He looks like a fake alligator.
he does.
Dude, I watched that Gator Boys show.
Yeah.
I think I could wrestle an alligator. Like, if
Oh,
there was
God.
an alligator loose in the
Yeah, you could
basement.
land an airplane too.
first, I probably could, but
You
first
couldn't
of all,
catch a bird in your basement. How are you going to wrangle an alligator?
because I watched the Gator Boys. There was no Bird Boys, okay? I never watched Bird Boys to learn how to wrangle a bird.
That's why you got to listen to Basement Birds.
Yes.
Boom.
And you have to use a net bigger than a butterfly net. In case
There
you're
you
wondering, you need a bigger net than a butterfly net.
And
So,
you shouldn't try it with a buddy who has his foot in a boot either.
well,
that's for
he's
sure.
useless anyway. Patrick, if you're
that's
listening,
fair. You're useless.
don't ask Patrick. Don't. We all have that one friend, Patrick.
Yeah.
Don't ask Patrick to help catch the bird. He's just not.
You know what's not
it.
useless, Logan, and who I think could do a pretty good job of catching a bird?
Who's that?
900 dachshunds.
What?
Okay, this takes us to Germany. They broke a Guinness World Record when it hosted a parade that featured some 900 dachshunds or more. And you won't believe who was at this parade to help break this record.
David Rush.
No, I'm just kidding. I made that up. He was not there. This takes us to Regensburg, home of the Dachshund-themed Dackel Museum. Hosted the world's largest Dachshund dog walk when the Dackel parade featured at least 897 wiener dogs walking with their owners.
Stop it.
Some counts indicate the number may have been high as 1,175, but Guinness could only confirm the 897.
Yeah, let's hear you try this name right here.
I don't even know. That's an umlaut on there. Seppi Kubelbeck.
There you go. That's not bad.
They wanted to bring positive energy to the community. The Dachshund isn't political, he says. For the Dachshund, all people are equal, regardless of skin color or where they come from.
No, well,
that's a very nice message. I think, you know
Isn't
who I
that
think would like
inspiring?
this story?
Nicole.
Nicole, yes. Yes. Have you
Nicole's-
ever... What is the closest you have been to a Dachshund before? You know, I feel like they're kind of a unicorn dog. You don't see them a lot, you know?
Well, first of all, the Dachshund is Nicole's favorite type of dog.
It is.
If
They're a
if you didn't know that, she is always talking about how she wants a wiener dog.
You guys should get one.
They are of the most ferocious, attitude-filled animals
Oh, they sure are.
that exist. So
I have a
I'm
friend-
anti-Dachshund.
I have a friend that has one, and his dog Gus, he is like the Energizer Bunny. He just goes and goes and goes, and when you think he's done, he goes some more, and he just keeps running around. I'm like,
What?
how does this small dog have so much energy? It's crazy.
Nicole hears me. Oh, now she's calling me.
Oh gosh, did she hear you talking about wiener dog?
You said.
I heard what you said.
I heard what you said.
What did I say?
They are not vicious animals.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. If you treat them right, they're loving.
Nicole. Well, first of all, our odd news story this week.
No one's accusing Logan of animal abuse here.
Yes. First of all, our first. Nope. Hold on. Our odd news story, Reid's odd news story, was that there was a world record that was broken recently. A parade of 897 wiener dogs breaks Guinness World Record.
Be there.
What?
I need to be there.
In
It happened
Germany?
already.
It happened already. It's over.
I mean, it would be worth the trip to Germany.
Oh, it's definitely worth the trip to Germany.
What? When did you suddenly start to having a Boston accent? What was that?
Bottom line, wiener dogs are cute, and I want one.
No, they're vicious animals that are trying to steal my fingers.
Look at the vicious animal, but then look at their owner. It comes from the owner.
Stop trying to justify this, Nicole. It's not working.
You know I am right.
No, we appreciate your call in though.
Nope. I will hold a voting thing on my Instagram.
What?
Yes.
A voting thing? It's called a poll, ladies and gentlemen. Poll. Thank you. All right, you go ahead and start that poll, and we'll check in with you next week and see how that goes for you. All right?
Yep.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling. That's our first call-in.
That's our first call-in live
Wow. It's
on the
a shame-
Basement Bird Show.
It's the shame we didn't plan that, and she just took it upon herself to call.
I know. Well,
Don't tell
Well,
her. I said that.
we're definitely running out of time. So
I can
you know
say
what?
that though because I know that she doesn't listen.
Yeah, this. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. We can talk all the trash we want because she doesn't listen to the show. All right.
Oh my word!
Well,
Too
you know
good.
what? If you are listening, thank you. We
Yeah,
appreciate
go vote on
you.
Nicole's Instagram story too. Give your thoughts on the Wiener Dogs.
I'll reshare. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Basement Birds. My name is Logan. That's Reid. We're on all sorts of social media platforms.
Oh yes, Instagram,
TikTok.
TikTok, YouTube, Spotify.
That's
Nicole's
where we're
Instagram
at Basement Birds.
at Basement Birds.
We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Peace.